Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson with me, Pastor Brendan. We're going to go over chord shapes in the key of G. So I'm going to start with some basic stuff which you probably already know, and then I'm going to go through some more fancy stuff. One quick mention of theory, because it's going to come up on every video, is that every major key, every major scale, as you know, has 7 notes. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, and then back to do. Re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. And it goes up the octave from there. In G, starts with the G. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Right? Each one of those has a designated chord, and so you can actually play for each of the 7 notes in the scale. You can play 7 different chords, respectively, in G major, which you probably know. G minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, F sharp, G. And of course, it's more nuanced than that, but for our purposes, and for most worship songs actually, we'll focus on the most common chords in that key. Plant your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, plant your pinky on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then you probably know this, you leave them there and you can play 4 chords, which accounts for almost every worship song. You got your G, you got your C2 by putting your middle finger there, you got your D, and you got your E minor 7. And you didn't even have to move these fingers. Super easy to switch chords. Right? Super simple, so I'm not going to spend much time on that. You probably know that. Otherwise, you can rewind the video and watch exactly what my fingers do there. Another alteration that's fun to do is to play some C shapes up the neck, some of the different chords in G. For example, when you're playing a C major, so you have your G here, instead of doing your C2, which can sound great, perhaps you'd want to play your C major, right, the regular C shape, and then you come to a D chord, and instead of doing your standard D, which is kind of boring, maybe, you want to kind of mix it up. And so you take your C shape and you slide it up 2 frets to the 5th fret, and you just play that same C shape. And now that's a fancy D chord, and you have 2 notes that should be in dissonance, that 4th string and that 3rd string, right? It shouldn't sound good together, but in context, it gives a lot of color and sounds really good. So there's a great D shape for you. But you're like, oh, I don't want to stop there. I want to have a fancy E minor too. Well, guess what? My 3rd finger's on the D right now. I can slide that up right to the E. But I don't want an E major chord. I want an E minor chord. So I can't. That sounds too happy. Right? Something's not right there. So I got to take that 3rd on the middle finger, and I got to move it down 1 fret. So I'm going to put my 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the A string. I'm going to put my 1st finger on the 5th fret of the D string, and I'm going to strum the rest open. And now I have an E minor chord. Look at that. I got C, slide up to D, slide up to E minor. And what if, I'm not even done there. I want to slide it all the way back up to a G. Well, I can slide all this all the way up to the 10. This is the G note. Right? Same note. And I'm going to just play a C shape. Look at that. I got a G. I got my pinky on the 10th if I want. Final thing I want to show you in the key of G is something called sixths that are very common in this key. You can obviously play sixths in any key. You can play different shapes I'm going to show you in any key, but in G it's really nice because, as you're going to see, for example, here's a 6th interval, which is a C chord. I got my 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the A string and my pinky, or you can use your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the B string. And then you can even let the G string ring open. Sounds like that. Hopefully you can see that. And I can slide that up to a D. And I can slide that up to an E. This time my pinky is not on the 9th fret, but I'm moving it down to make it minor on the 8th fret of the B string. You can see that. And so we got C, we got D, we got E minor, we got F sharp minor, and then I can go all the way up to the G. And these are super fun to strum on electric, and it can really give you a good sound without muddying up the mix with too many strings. And so, for example, if you're building, say, "What a beautiful name." And you have no rival, you have no equal, right? Above all. Okay, that's a G over B. Okay, pointer on the 2nd fret. And so you can play with that. That's a super fun thing to do in the key of G, and it'll help you build, help you add some variation to your playing. And so I hope that you learned something. Again, this is Pastor Brendan, Word of Life Church. Appreciate you guys. Hope you learned something. Have a great day. See you.